Hi, my name is David Tzor, and recently I published a book, How to Win the Unwinnable Race. And the idea of this book actually based on a very, very old story from Sisyphus and then by La Fontaine. It's a probably known story. And the story is about in one day in the forest, the hare was bragging that he is the fastest animal in the world. And the tortoise heard about it and said, I'm challenging this. Definitely you are not, and I can beat you. And I can be faster than you. So the fox heard it and said, oh, there's an opportunity of great news. So what he organized a race in which the race itself was to show that the tortoise is speed and faster than the hare. And the judge was elected as the owl. And what happened, the race started, and the hare was, of course, very fast. He started with a big gap, and he saw behind the tortoise, and he said, you know, I can lay down and rest a little bit because he will never win. And while he was rested, and it was very hot, according to the story, he fell asleep. And step by step, the tortoise won the race. Oh, that's a very simple. And actually the understanding of this story, throughout the years, throughout history, we are talking about more than 2,500 years of story, was that you have to be persistent, that you have to finish the task before you brag, don't brag, all of this kind of, the most important thing we told to the kids. But when I thought about this story, something didn't make sense to me. And it was not so dramatic, like it's a problem of the universe. But, in the back of my mind, there was something that doesn't make sense. And what didn't make sense to me is actually why the tortoise agreed. The answer that I thought, today in our world, the hare, it's a culture of hero, Speed, it's a value. We love speed. There's any presentation today that you talk about management, any commercial that doesn't praise speed. Okay, we're faster, and the fact that we will win constantly, that's a big value to our culture. But here is a story about a guy that a priori nobody thinks that he will win. The tortoise is not a symbol of race. And he is taking upon himself the challenge to do it. Having said that, I thought a little bit longer, and I said, actually, some of us are really the tortoise. In life, we find ourselves sometimes in races in which there's no chance that we will win. Moreover, the fact that we don't want to win, and we cannot win. Or maybe, first of all, we cannot win, therefore we don't want to win. So, when I start thinking about this, why the tortoise will have a chance to take part of this race, I understood automatically that the fact that he won the race, it's not a fact, it just happened. And it's one time off. And then I was sitting for, I think, like 1.5 years, thinking about what the reason could have the tortoise day before, because bear in mind, he didn't know that the hare will fall asleep. So I find out several insights that if I would interview the tortoise, what he would answer. And I thought that this insight is very important and very useful to our daily life. In how we manage ourselves, and in the second level, how we manage the business. Okay, so what kind of presumption, a priori presumption, we should have if taking part in races that, let's say, we will fail. And anyhow, we will say it's better to take part of it and not quit. That's it.